What's up guys? Today we're back with a new video on the Corolla. I'm going to be replacing the sway bar bushings, which are these right here, and I'll show you in a second. If you don't know where they go and what they do, I'll show you where they go and what they do. So let's get started. The tools you'll need for this repair are pretty simple: a jack stands, a wrench, and maybe some silicone spray just to spray on the bushings to make them slide in better, sockets, and a ratchet, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so once you've jacked up the car, I chose to take off the wheels, but you don't have to. The only reason I took them off is so I can show you better what's going on there and so that I get more light in there without bringing a flashlight. But let me show you what I was talking about earlier. So this is the sway bar link, this is the sway bar, this connects the two suspensions, the two struts, and this allows for better cornering and handling, because when one side goes up, compresses as you turn, it will force the other side up as well. That way the whole body of the car doesn't just lean to one side or another without the wheel actually, or the suspension, compressing and holding it down. So basically this allows for better handling. These are the sway bar links, or end links, whatever you want to call them. These connect the sway bar to the strut itself. And these right here are the bushings that we're going to be replacing today. They're rubber, and as they get old they crack and they loosen up, so mine actually clonk when the sway bar goes up and down. I can't simulate it right now because I need to find the right angle for the sway bar to be compressed upwards, and I haven't found it yet. The reason I have the wheels jacked up on separate jacks is so that it compresses the sway bar up. Now if we crawl under the car from the back and look at it from underneath, we can see the sway bar link here. This is the sway bar, it attaches right there, and it goes all the way across, under or over this cross member, whatever you want to consider it, all the way across. It attaches there. I've already taken that bracket off so that I can show you what the old bushing looks like in a second, and then crosses over here to the back of the strut and then attaches to the other end link and back to the strut. So basically, as I said earlier, it synchronizes or stabilizes the two suspensions. And the reason I have this jacked up and the other one jacked up is so that I can push this whole bar up so that when I take this bracket off it doesn't fall down on me. That's basically it. Now here is a sneak peek at what we are about to take out. This is the new one, this is the old one. As you can see, hopefully you can tell, but the hole is much bigger on the old one than it is on the new one. Well, not much bigger, but it's bigger, which means it loosened up over time. If you look closely, you can actually see the cracks right about here and here, and I can actually feel it. This rubber is soft and I can twist it around easily. This one is very hard, and as soon as I stretch it, it cracks. And even this, when I stretch it, it doesn't come back to its original form. It just stays stretched. So obviously time to replace this with this and hopefully eliminate all that clunking that I'm hearing from the back of the car, because I know it's not the suspension because I just replaced that, as you know if you watch my previous videos. I know it's not the sway bar links because those were clunking too a few months ago, and I replaced those as well, and I have a video on that too. So once you replace these and you are sure that it's these bushings, just go ahead and replace them. I think it's $3 for the rears and $4 for the front. It's actually the same exact process for the front suspension. There's going to be a sway bar going from that side to that side. Just find the brackets, find the bushings, disconnect them the same exact way. So I'm just going to show you how to do this one because there's more lighting here and more room, but it applies to both the front and the rear, and I will actually be replacing the front as well. I have them right here. As you can see, they're much bigger. The hole is much bigger. These are just beefier in general because obviously the front holds more weight. So, but I will not film this because it's the exact same process. So let's get started and remove those from here. Alright, so to remove these, you will need a very long extension, a ratchet, or a wrench. If you want to use a wrench, you can just come from there where the wheel is. I'm using a very long extension with a 12mm socket on it. I don't need any WD-40, which is weird for this car, but I'm considering myself lucky. So just put it on, and they should come off pretty easily. They shouldn't be on there very tight, just snug. So once you loosen up the other side so that you don't bend the bracket, and then just simply take them off. Alright, as I always say, make sure you don't lose these, and be careful. Either don't stand underneath it, or directly underneath it, or wear some sort of face mask or something, because there's a lot of rust and dust and sand that just fell from here. I don't know if you saw it on camera. So just pull the bracket off. Oh, did you see that? Yep, you don't want that in your face. Pull the bracket off, pull the bushing off, and that should come off like that. And as you see, this now is free to move around, sideways and up and down. You want to just leave it in place so that it's easier to align when you put the new bushings on. Now you want to get your new bushing, and this is why I brought the silicone spray, so that now we take the new bushing. Well, you can actually even spray that a little bit. Oops. There we go. We spray it inside the new bushing. And now, don't breathe that stuff in. Now you just, alright. Now you just put it on. That should slide on very easily. Take the bracket. I'm spraying some silicone spray there just so I can slide this on easily. The reason I'm using silicone spray and not WD-40 is because the silicone spray is friendlier on the rubber. So now you want to get your bolts and start threading them back on. Be very careful not to cross thread, obviously. This can be a little tricky because this bushing is not fully seated. It'll get seated once you tighten it. Alright, once you've started the first one, stop there, get the second one, start threading that one. And now just thread them on all the way. Make sure to do it equally on both sides. Don't thread one all the way and then the other all the way. Do them both a few threads at a time. And once you're done tightening them, just make them snug, and that should do it. This is not something that needs to be torqued down or super tight, so that's pretty much it. Now all you have to do is repeat the process on the other side and in front if you need to. I suggest you do, because this is just a cheap part, and it's always good to have fresh bushings because you never know. I mean, it's such an easy job. It's a cheap part. You know, why not invest the money? It's only $3 or $4, as I said. I'll leave the links to these in the description. I will leave the links to all of my tools in the description, so if you see anything that interests you, check the description. I'll leave the link to this. Actually, I think I bought it at Home Depot for $3. I suggest taking it. It's also good for fixing power windows. If they don't slide very easily, you get this little straw and put it on the trim around the window, the rubber. It lubricates it a little bit better. So there you go. This is how you change the sway bar bushings on a 1995 or well, this is a 1995 Corolla, but this applies to literally any car. They're all the same. They're all mounted the same. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any other suggestions. Stay tuned for more videos because more are coming. I have some lined up. So as I said, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know of any suggestions you have, ideas, comments, whatever. I hope this video was useful, helpful, and that you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for more.